Okay, let's get one thing straight right away. Silicon Valley? It isn't one place, it's a financial chessboard. And today, we're going to peel back the layers and show you the hidden rules of the game. Because, the moves that look the most powerful, they're not always the ones that actually win.
I mean, just let that sink in for a second. A 10-minute drive. You've got the same weather, access to the exact same jobs, but a financial outcome that's worlds apart. So let's really dive into this, because if you can understand this one single paradox, you're on your way to seeing the entire board.
On the surface, you just see two cities that are pretty close to each other. But what's really going on here is a battle between two completely different philosophies. You've got prestige on one side, the legacy brands, the status, the whole shebang. And on the other, you've got value, a strategic play for actual leverage. This right here, this is the core tension of the entire valley.
All right, section 1, the prestige myth. Why the brands you know aren't the full story. See, most people's idea of Silicon Valley is built on this myth, the prestige myth. It's the idea that all those famous names and shiny headquarters, they tell you everything you need to know. Spoilers, they don't.
So when you say Silicon Valley, what pops into your head? Probably these places, right? Palo Alto, Cupertino, Mountain View. You're thinking of the big tech logos, the status that comes with it all. It's basically a highlight reel. And yeah, that's the story you're always told.
But here's the thing. Prestige doesn't always mean leverage. And this is the crucial point. While that prestige gets all the attention, it usually comes at a price that completely erases any future upside. The real leverage? Oh, that's found somewhere else entirely.
Okay, section 2, the financial chessboard. It's not about cities, it's about clusters. And this is where it gets really interesting. To see the board clearly, you have to stop thinking about city names. You have to start thinking in terms of clusters. This is the hidden operating system of the whole region. So what exactly is a cluster? Well, think of it like a force of gravity. It's this dense network of jobs, the infrastructure that supports them, and even the zoning laws that shape how they grow. And the one thing that ties it all together? Commute times. That's the real gravity. Once you start seeing these clusters, the map finally starts to make sense. All right, next up, power versus value, a city-by-city breakdown of this system in action. So let's really look at how this plays out on the ground by comparing cities that represent pure power against those that represent true strategic value. Okay, let's start with the tech core. This is power, not value. First up, Mountain View. It's Google's kingdom, right? The social scene, the walkability, it's all there. But at a median price of $1.9 million, you're basically paying a premium for growth that already happened. It's in the rearview mirror. Then you've got Cupertino, Apple's home turf. Prices here? They just soar past $3 million. And the key insight here is that this isn't about momentum. This is scarcity pricing. It's what happens in a town with a very limited housing supply and, frankly, no real downtown to speak of. Now, let's talk about the quiet winner that most people completely miss. Because right next door to all that power, all that prestige, there's a city playing a totally different game. And honestly, it's a much, much smarter one. So check this out. Let's compare Cupertino, the power city, with Santa Clara, our value city. For nearly half the price of a home in Cupertino, you can be in Santa Clara. We're talking the same commute, but instead of just Apple prestige, you're tapped into the semiconductor backbone of the entire valley. We're talking Intel, NVIDIA, the whole infrastructure. This isn't a move based on hype. It's a strategic decision based on pure math, location, and a whole lot more flexibility. And this isn't just a one-off. This pattern repeats itself all over the valley. Just look at these prices. Fremont, Sunnyvale, San Jose, they are all way more accessible than the so-called prestige cities, and each one has its own unique strategic advantage, pretty much hiding in plain sight. So let's break these down. Fremont is where you see this amazing collision of tech and family life thanks to Tesla's gravity. Then you have Sunnyvale. It's not flashy, but man, is it strategic. It's the ultimate intersection city, sitting right in the dead center of Google's, Apple's, and Amazon's orbits. And then there's San Jose, the sleeping giant that is absolutely about to wake up. And there's this great quote, San Jose isn't one market, it's 6. And that perfectly explains why it's so misunderstood. People just see one big city name, but in reality, it's a collection of totally distinct markets. You've got everything from the urban tech core in North San Jose to a super charming neighborhood like Willow Glen. The real opportunity, it's hidden inside all that complexity. Okay, so now let's flip the chessboard over and look at the extreme opposite end. $8.5 million. That is the median home price in Atherton. Look, this isn't real estate anymore. This is capital storage. In places like Atherton or maybe Los Altos Hills, the rules of the game are just completely different. The goal here isn't growth or appreciation. Nope. It's all about wealth preservation. We're talking 1-acre zoning, no commercial buildings allowed. This is basically a vault for capital. It's designed for one thing, to preserve dominance.
All right, Section 4, the hidden climbers. These aren't prestige cities, they're trajectory cities. So, okay, what if you're not playing that capital storage game? What if you're trying to build wealth, not just preserve it? Where's the smart money actually going? Well, it's moving away from the past and into these trajectory cities. These are places that are on a clear upward path, even if they aren't on everyone's radar yet. Let's look at a few. You've got Campbell, with its super vibrant, walkable downtown. It's become a magnet for people priced out of Los Gatos. Then there's Redwood City. It's going through this huge urban revival, all centered on its Caltrain hub, which connects it directly to both San Francisco and the valley's core. And you can't forget Milpitas. With its direct BART line and just incredible job density, it is still fundamentally undervalued for how strategic its position is. These are the kinds of cities where people aren't just buying a house, they're making a smart, strategic investment in what's next. Okay, this brings us to the final and honestly the most important parts, how to actually win. It's about positioning, not appearances. So how do you actually make a winning move on this chessboard? Well, it all comes down to analysis, not emotion. So how do you decide where to go? Here's a hint. It's not by vibes or brand names. The answer isn't found by just looking at the big tech logos or chasing some kind of vibe. That's the old way of thinking, and it is a surefire way to lose this game. So here it is, the winning framework. It's a 5-step playbook. 1. You analyze the real commute, not the one you do on a Sunday afternoon. 2. You map out the gravity of the different job clusters. 3. You have to understand the school trade-offs. 4. You check the local zoning rules to see what's actually possible. And 5. You follow the money, the public infrastructure spending. This is how you find where the demand hasn't been fully priced in yet. And why does this matter? Because this framework, this way of seeing a system instead of just a label, it applies everywhere, not just in Silicon Valley. It's a lens you can use to understand any complex market. And really, that's what it all comes down to. The biggest lie about Silicon Valley is that it's one place. It's not. It's a system. The idea that it's just this one single area is the biggest misconception out there. It is a complex, deeply interconnected system. And once you see the system, you stop chasing prestige and you start making moves that compound. Because once you see it, once you really see the clusters, the trade-offs, the trajectories, everything changes. You stop chasing the empty calories of prestige, and you start making strategic moves that build on each other, moves that compound over time. That is how you win here. So, now that you see the chessboard, what's your next move? The question I'll leave you with is pretty simple. Now that you can see the board, you can see the pieces, and you can see that hidden system that connects them all, what are you going to do about it?